Hi, Leona Lewis, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. Like millions the world over, we're always welcoming of new Leona music. You're on the cusp of releasing Christmas with Love. What inspired you to release a holiday album versus a traditional album?
Well, I after my last record, which was my third album, I went on tour, and I kind of wanted to get re-inspired and really just try something new. And so I decided to record a Christmas album, but with kind of a throwback Motown vibe. And it's always been a genre that's really inspired me. Like I grew up on Motown, The Supremes, Stevie Wonder, and but I've never really touched on it in any of my records. So I thought this would be a good chance to do that, and it's really, gosh, it's re-inspired me so much.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. And we've heard the album, and it's legitimately an amazing listen. Musically, tell us a little bit about how it was pieced together in the way of producers, songwriters, and you kind of touched upon it now, but with the Motown sound as well.
Yeah. So I worked on this album with a guy called Biff Stannard, who's an amazing producer, has written some amazing songs. So I wrote and he executive produced the record. And I've done 7 Christmas classics on there, and they're all songs that I listen to every single Christmas. It's very Phil Spector inspired, like with the Ronettes and Darlene Love. I've done some of their covers. And also, I wrote some original material with a girl called Autumn Rowe, who I've written with on previous albums, and also John Levine. So we've got 3 original songs on there as well.
Okay. And our favourite tracks are Ave Maria and one of those original songs, One More Sleep. What are some of your favourite tracks from the album?
My favourite tracks from the album would probably be Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, because literally I picked that song not kind of really. I was like, I love the song, but I didn't really know how it was going to turn out. I thought it would be one that I kind of do, and then we're like, ah, no, it's not worked out. But I had so much fun recording it and making it like Motown with my 2 BVs. Like, we just got in the studio and was just like all the way through, just like belting it out like how the kind of Motown girls used to do. So yeah, that was really fun to record. And also, I recorded a rendition of Otis Redding's White Christmas, and that one is also one of my favourites.
For many, Mariah Carey introduced classic Christmas music for the modern era.
Yeah.
Were either of her Christmas albums reference points for you when making your own?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, her Christmas album is so amazing. I remember my mum just like rinsing that album to death every Christmas. So that album is inspiring, and All I Want for Christmas as well. Like every year you hear that and you know it's the start of Christmas time. So that was definitely inspiring for me. But the most inspiration I drew was from the Phil Spector record, which is the record I play every year in my house.
As two of music's most powerful vocalists, there's often a lot of comparisons made between you and Mariah and things like that. However, for us, we'd love to see like a duet of sorts. I know you did the Stand Up for Cancer track together as an ensemble piece, but is a duet something that you would probably like to an idea you'd entertain in the future?
Well, Mariah Carey for me is like an icon and is just one of the most amazing vocalists in the world. And when I got to do the Stand Up for Cancer track with her and all of the other kind of crazy, amazing divas, I was just so nervous because I was like, me, like, British girl there with all these American crazy divas. And I'm like standing on the end, like, shaking in my boots. But I would really love to do a duet with her. I think she's outstanding, so that would be amazing.
Okay, we're kind of really curious, with a voice as powerful as yours, and obviously as a performer you use it so often, how do you maintain your quietness, if you will?
I do try and be quite wary because the voice is an instrument like any instrument. You can't just like change a string like you can on a guitar. Like you really have to look after it. So I was classically trained, so I keep up my training a lot, and also just try not to party too hard when I have to sing the next day. Just being a bit smart.
And artists are often asked about who they like musically, but I notice like very rarely are they asked about whose career they admire. You know, so we're in an era where longevity is such a hard find.
Yeah.
Whose musical journey inspires Leona Lewis?
Um, there's loads of artists that I admire and that have inspired me. But in terms of career-wise, I'm actually really inspired by careers like Kylie Minogue because she's had such a long career and she tours the world like every few years and sells out. Like, and that to me is longevity. And Madonna as well, the same. Like how she has just managed to span a career and have all of these amazing global iconic songs. Like those careers to me are careers that I kind of aspire to have something similar.
Definitely. And this room has me feeling very Christmassy. You know, if there's three things that you'd most want to unwrap this Christmas, what would they be and why?
Ooh. Three things I'd most want to unwrap this Christmas would probably be I'd love a vintage gramophone because I've got some old records and I really want to play them on Christmas Eve, get into the mood. So, yeah, vintage gramophone. Some nice artwork because I've just recently got a house, so to put something up in my living room. And I think the third thing, I'd love a car. Why not? Just chuck that in there.
I know for a lot of your fans, they'd love to unwrap new information about your upcoming album
Yeah.
when they watch this interview. So, for your dedicated fans, have you started working on the follow-up to Glass Heart? And if you have, what can we expect in the way of sound and a potential release window?
For my next album, I have been in the studio and kind of vibing out different ideas. I've been really actually inspired by the whole Motown kind of retro throwback. So I'm hoping to bring some of that sound into it. I haven't got a release date yet because I don't want to put the pressure on myself of having to release something at a certain time. But I'm definitely back in and on it in the new year.
Okay, so could we potentially expect it next year, or?
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be next year.
And, you know, looking at the list of promo spots for the album, it's great to see that you're heading back to America this go round.
Yeah, I am.
You know, having focused on Europe with Glassheart, can US Leona fans expect to see more of you in the upcoming year?
Yeah, my US fans have been so amazing and so patient as well. So I'm so happy that I'm going to be getting to go back. I go to New York early in December. Also LA, I'm doing some shows there. I'm doing some radio shows and some appearances. So I'm so happy to finally be going back and seeing everyone.
So Global Leona's back. If
Yeah.
You will. Yeah. Speaking of Glassheart, we're still spinning Shake You Up and Favourite Scars listening to on the way up here.
Oh, cool.
How did you feel about the album's performance?
Well, for the Glass Heart album, it was released in the UK and Europe, and we never really planned to release it in the US. I recorded it all here. Of course, it would have been amazing to release there, but it actually gave me time to focus on touring the UK and Europe, which I have never toured in Europe before, so it was the first time that I got to do that and really focus in on it. So I'm glad it got me the opportunity to do that, but I'm definitely ready to kind of spread my wings a bit more. I've got some tours coming up next year in China, which is crazy because I've not toured there before, so I'm definitely kind of working my way around again, which is nice.
Love it. And kind of rounding up, what would Leona Lewis, switching gears as well, what would you say has probably been your most embarrassing moment today?
I'll keep the embarrassing moment to a performance to tie it into the music. But I was doing a performance, I think, in Regent Street, and as I was walking up the stairs to the stage, literally the dress that I wore, it kind of came up to my knees, and it had a seam that like went all the way up the front, and as I walked it just literally ripped open. So I went on stage and the dress is like, as I'm walking, it's just getting higher and higher and higher and higher up. I literally had to perform like this, and I think everyone was thinking, why is she just, can she not walk anymore? So I'm like this performing and literally had to run off stage afterwards and like get it all tacked up again. But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
Wow. And final question, what's the greatest gift you feel you could give the world?
Oh, that's a bit deep. I hope that through my music and through the kind of different charity work that I'm able to do because of the name that I've got through music, I can kind of shed a bit of light on different organisations that are close to my heart, like the Teenage Cancer Trust and my farm, Hopefield Animal Sanctuary. I think it's important to use your name for causes like that if you can.
Leona Lewis, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.